Good morning. Welcome to this February 4th Board of Commissioners meeting. First item is public comment. Do we have anyone here for public comment? All right, seeing none, we will move right into our agenda. First item is to open the CCMG bids, and we did double check. It was advertised at 9, not 9:15. So we will take a stab at that, and our county attorney's not here today, so we're gonna have to do this, so we'll see how it goes.
You want me to open them?
Yeah, if you wanna open them, that'd be great.
Maybe. We don't have to.
I'll read them.
Okay.
Try to read them. All right, first one is from BF&S, and total cost of project bid, DC Construction Services, I apologize, is for $514,009.27. We'll have all the bids sitting up here for anyone. Next is Central Paving, $444,955.24.
Keep up.
Milestone Contractors, $496,925. Midwest Paving, $510,969.65. E&B Paving, $558,770.01. Baumgartner and Company LLC, $496,418. Howard Asphalt, $479,227.65. And the last one, Reith Riley Construction Company, $453,142.90. So, like I said, they'll all be up here. Anyone could come take a look after the meeting. They'll be down there on that end. We'll take a motion to take them under advisement. We'll consult with Rick, and we'll make a selection at our next meeting.
I'll move to take them under advisement. Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0 on that. Next, we have Joe Clark with VS Engineering. Good morning, Joe.
Morning. Have with me here today Bailey Spear as well. Just kind of wanted to give you guys a chance to meet us. We're here to talk about bridge inspections. It's something that I've had the opportunity to do for quite a while, and would love the opportunity, obviously, to inspect the bridges here in my home county. I grew up on 200 West, just between 500 South and 550 South. So grew up in the county, lived in the county all but, I think, 12 years of my life where I lived on the south side of Lafayette. But currently I live just northeast of Kirkland, at a house out there on some family farm ground, and hated the subdivision life in Lafayette, so glad I'm back out in the country living living the country life, seeing the cattle across the road. In fact, half of one of those cows are in my freezer in the garage, so pretty good place to be. I was a Jackson Cardinal, Clinton Prairie Gopher, Purdue graduate, so been in the area obviously in my entire life. Raised my kids up in Rossville. I built a house up on 800 North back in the mid-90s, and was able to do some time coaching there, baseball, track, cross country, was involved in scouts and other things. So had a pretty good life here in the county, and would love to be able to serve the county by inspecting the bridges. I started at H. Stewart Klein Associates. They were a company in Lafayette in 1992, and started bridge inspections in '94. So I've been doing this for a little over 30 years. Lots of experience. I've seen a lot of bridges. A lot of work that we've done has been on the rehab and preservation side of things, because we found that it's a better way to spend your dollars than necessarily waiting till things just completely fall apart and you have to replace them. So I've had a lot of experience at being a bridge inspector, seeing how things work in the field and turning that onto the design side. So that's one of the things that I've found really valuable with bridge inspections. Before I get much farther with this, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I want to give Bailey an opportunity to introduce himself and tell you a little bit about him.
Yeah, I'm Bailey Spear here. I've, like Joe, been a Clinton County resident for my entire life. I just lived just north of Sedalia here. Was a Rossville grad back in 2017. Was actually good friends with Joe's son growing up. And yeah, I've lived in Clinton County all but the 4 years I went to Purdue here. Came back. Couldn't really imagine living anywhere else but here in Clinton County. Just I enjoy it so much here. I think it was back in 2018 I was fortunate enough to get my first internship here, which is what is now VS Engineering. Did 3 years of internships there and then came aboard full-time in 2021, and for that entire time I've pretty much been doing bridge inspections with some bridge design in there. So yeah, just like Joe, I really would enjoy the opportunity to continue to serve my community here. I live right near a whole bunch of bridges, walk over them every day, drive over them every day. So just to have an opportunity to continue to serve my community would just be a blessing.
All right. I guess I kind of left off. I started at H. Stewart Klein. In 2017, H. Stewart Klein was purchased by VS Engineering. So at that point, we became VS Engineering. I couldn't get my son to go into civil engineering, so I got one of his best friends. So I nabbed him as quickly as I could. Tried to train him the right way on how to do things. It doesn't always work well, but no, it's good. It's all good. We do know that your bridge inspections, your major inspections, phase inspections, are April and May of even years, and that fits really well with our current inspection schedule. So we definitely have the capacity, and obviously having houses here in the county, I mean, we're not going anywhere. It's right here. I keep equipment in my truck at all times, so I've got my inspection bucket and a tote with my waders and all that kind of stuff. So if I need to be anywhere, I can be anywhere. Well, in this county, within like 15 minutes, probably. I mean, 20 if I have to go, but he's closer on the northwest side than I am now. So one of the things that we kind of do differently is we really focus on the deliverables. And through my years of experience, that's what I've found to be most rewarding for me and beneficial for the county, because I just don't want to give the county data. It's like, okay, here's your inspection data. Okay, well, now what? I'm more on the side of, okay, here's your data. Here's what you can probably do to help improve your bridges at the best price possible. So a lot of, like I said, a lot on the preservation side of things. So really want to work with the county, especially the highway department, in making sure that we're doing the best we can with our bridges. And the information that they need is very important. So we customize the reports based on off of each county. We'll meet with them and say, okay, what do you really want to do? What are your maintenance crew capabilities? And we'll kind of focus our reports on that to try to give the county what they really need to make the best of the information that we give them. And that's really what we're after. When I do an inspection, I want to make sure it's beneficial to the county. So I think with that, if you guys have any questions for us, I'll be happy to answer them.
Don't believe I have, but
Okay.
Joe, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
sure.
both.
Yeah, appreciate you guys coming.
Thank you, Jim.
Yep. Okay, next we have Rick Campbell with a highway update.
Morning.
Morning, Rick.
I checked the guys out. Both their passengers are out. Got one of them doing crack sealing and one of them patching holes. We got 2 graders out on the gravel roads, 3 trucks following them around with stone, and that's what we're doing right now. Michigan Town's full of stones. We really can't haul any more in there right now, and Delphi don't have any, so we're kind of stuck there for a little bit. But I wanted to talk about our tractor. Last snow we had, one of our tractors went down, and Reynolds and Lebanon came and got it and took it in, and it needs a transmission, and it's $63,000. So they're supposed to be getting a remanufactured transmission to put in that tractor. Just wanted to touch base with the commissioners. It's
What year is it?
It's a 2013, it's a 72R, and it has 9,288 hours.
Pre-def?
We deleted it. So,
Okay.
anyway,
Maybe we should look at, just look at upgrading it rather than,
I didn't realize the tractors had that many hours on them.
Yeah.
But they don't work hard.
yeah.
I don't know.
What do you think?
Not a tough call, but, you know, you could probably get another 5, 6, 7 years out of that.
Yeah.
I would say, you know, just let them find out.
At least pricing things out.
You could look at pricing some things.
That's what I would say. Let's look
But-
at some other options before we commit to a new transmission in it.
Probably, what, halfway there?
No,
No,
probably not.
No, not at all.
Brand new one? No.
No. Like I said, it's not like they don't pull a lot of weight,
Yeah.
so I think you could get quite a few more years out of it.
Well, maybe since you're a liaison, you guys kind of work through what the plan is, and if it needs to be explored more, then bring it back to the full board. Sound good?
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Next commissioner meetings will open bids for Bridge 60. There's only one bid because there's not hardly anybody out there that does rehab work, is what I'm hearing. So we only got one bid for that. And Brian Ridenhour has a mower that he puts on his excavator and cuts brush down with it. I've got a couple overpasses that go over 65 that it's hard to see to the left and right, and I got a quote from him to mow those back a little bit and burn the brush, and I was wondering if I could do that. I want to try that out, see how that works.
Well, get us the quote so we can see it first.
It's $14,000
Can you
for
send it
the
to us?
2 overpasses.
Just email it to us. Then we'll get a chance to look at it and we can make a decision at our next meeting.
Okay, that's all I got.
Okay. Any
Thank you.
questions?
No.
Nope. Okay.
Good.
Great. Thanks, Rick. All right, Liz Campbell, or Liz. Liz Stitzel, area plan update. Put those two together. I apologize.
That took a surprising turn.
They did. Me too.
I don't, we're following up on the motions and decisions you guys made at your last meeting. We sent bills out on that. I don't have anything new. Obviously, mowing hasn't started, but that does remind me, we need to make sure we have a mower under contract again for this next year.
He said he would do it. We
Okay.
don't have the contract yet.
Okay,
He said he would.
just so when we
Just
get
go,
to that point, we
is
know.
it Platinum? Who we've been with
Same
the
guy.
last
Okay.
2 years, I think it is. Done a good
Perfect.
job, so.
I'll let Kat know it won't change.
Yeah.
And then trust you guys to iron out the rest of it.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
unless you have anything for me, it's cold and not particularly crazy on the mowing front.
Nope, I don't have anything. Good.
All right.
Thanks,
Great,
Liz.
thanks.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay, move on to old business. The first item is Envoy Pay App number 15. It is for $122,496.48, and it is for the construction, which would have been remodel here at the courthouse. That's the first one, so I'll entertain a motion to approve that pay app.
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0 on it. The next one is for $634,451.19, and it is for construction as well for the annex.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Motion for Kevin, second from Bert. Motion carries 3-0 to approve that as well. We had the community service grant awards on here. We got tied up with some other things over the last 2 weeks, so we did not get a chance to go through those, so we will just continue until our next meeting. We'll make our decision at that point. Just quick reminder, we had 114,000 of applications, and we have 100,000 of budgeted funds, so we'll have to be making some cuts there. New business. First one, late addition here is a Paul Philippi contract. We've done it the last at least 2 years. The third-party lease service agreement for their vehicles, and so they sign it, and since we're kind of the pass-through subrecipient, as it's called, we have to sign off on this for their Section 5311 part of it. So it has just one signature spot for myself, yeah, so I'll entertain a motion to sign this agreement.
I'll make the motion that the president sign for contract.
I'll second.
All right, motion carries 3-0 on that. Next item we have under new business, but it'll be kind of a little bit of old business. Bert will remember this. Kevin, I think you might have actually been at the meeting in the audience, the other side. We have an interlocal agreement with the city for the annexation territory, and there was some questions on some of the language and clarity of it. That was revisited by the lawyers and has been gone through, and it clarified, I believe, one of the confusing points was about it was number 4 on page 3. I'll just kind of read it. It says the city and county agree that the newly rezoned industries and businesses located immediately adjacent to the annexation territory shall be required to provide a fire protection fee, which shall be calculated pursuant to the city's fire protection fee formula during the 10-year delayed annexation period for the provision of other necessary city services such as fire protection. So that language was a little muddy before. It's been clarified, and then there'll also should be, it's in the works, an additional interlocal that will be between the area plan and the city in terms of how the enforcement of that. So one of the big questions was if they are outside if they get the waiver outside the annexed area, and then in 10 years they get annexed, but they were exempt from city fire codes, then there's some issue that they're not up to the current standards of what they'll have to be once they're in the annexation. So this clarifies that, and we'll put something in place to make sure, because if I understood it correctly, the city of Frankfort's fire codes are a little more restrictive than the state's in some places. So now everyone out there will follow the city's fire codes, whether they're in the annexed territory or not for this. So that was the big cleanup item on that. So if there's no other questions or comments, I'll entertain a motion to approve this interlocal and sign it.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0 to approve the interlocal. Okay, next item is listed as an architectural contract for the fairgrounds. So in moving forward with the project out there, we now found out we need a state design release, so it has to be go through an architect to get the correct paperwork to submit to the state. Our contractor has worked with KJG Architectural Inc., and they have provided a contract for $10,500 to provide that work that needs to allow for the project to continue. And I checked with a couple of our partners, and they said that price was more than fair. So I feel comfortable making this recommendation to go forward with it.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Kevin and a second by Bert. Motion carries 3-0 to approve the KJG contract.
Thanks for checking that out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Next, we have two sign placement requests. The first is from Faith Family Church. It's for their 2025 men's conference. Date of the event is March 8th, and so they want to place a sign on the southeast corner for basically 32 days roughly. So from tomorrow up until their event.
Does this have to be approved separately?
Yeah, we'll just do them individually.
Okay. Move to approve.
All right, motion.
Family.
There's a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion carries 3-0 for the Faith Family sign placement. The next is for the St. Mary's Night of Columbus annual fish fry. And it's there's two signs, three signs. So on the southeast corner and then out at the fairgrounds. They have the two of them as well, and it's for 40 days.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0 on that as well. Department heads. Any department heads I'd like to go? Brett.
Morning.
Good morning.
I'll give you an update on our office situation. During the cold spell last week, our temperature in our office was routinely in the 50s. We all had space heaters going. One of those space heaters actually had a cord melt and sparks flew, so very dangerous. And then last week with the rain just coming down through our back room. We've looked at some properties in town. There is one between Old Stony and Napa on Sycamore. I think it was the old Board of Health building. That gentleman is willing to sell or rent, so it's something we'd like to explore pretty aggressively if possible, or if you have any suggestions on what we can do, but I think we just about agree where we're at.
I would, if you're interested in renting it for sure, having put something together and we can kind of work through it, and then, I mean, we would entertain the option, I suppose, of purchasing. I don't want to close the door on anything, so at least
Right.
having put stuff together for you, and then we can kind of work through what options next.
And Kevin, you may or may not know, we do have the funds to purchase a building if we need to. It wouldn't be any county funds at all. We're sitting on some project income that we can do some things
Let's
with.
see what you find out about that.
Sure. If you guys have any other suggestions on any other commercial properties, please let me know. So.
How much, I mean, is that big enough to handle you?
We've done 2 walkthroughs, and I think we could make it work. We probably need to put up one wall to separate a couple rooms to make another office, but staff's happy with it, and that's all I need to know. Staff's happy.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, bring us some options. We'll
Right.
we'll work
Okay.
on something. Renee, good morning.
Just a couple minor things. A couple weeks ago, we did have, I told Bert before the meeting, my staff contacted me on the weekend and had a little video of water coming through the ceiling. Luckily, it was in our bathroom. Contacted Sheriff's Maintenance. They came in. I think they were there for hours. I talked to him. Again, if we ever look at a new building, another perfect reason why we should not be below any plumbing whatsoever. Like I said, luckily it was only in our bathroom. But, you know, we only had some ceiling tiles to replace, but maintenance took care of that. And I think they had to call some plumbers or whatever. But again, just a classic reason why we should not be below
You don't want to be
anything
in
with
the
all of our
basement.
equipment. Like, that's scary. And then I do have just one other little thing. Crossroads GIS takes care of we're in contract with them. I think this is year 3 or 4 for our CAD mapping. Their representative that I deal with a lot, he emailed me a week or so ago, asked how we handle fire calls. And just so you know, we have what's called box alarms. I don't know if you've ever heard of those, but they're hard copies. They're in books. They're not digital for us, and each of the fire departments provide their box alarms for us. So if we would dispatch a structure fire in Michigan town, we would know if they tell us a second alarm, what other agencies we contact, whether it's for tankers, personnel, different things like that. So Neil and I were emailing back and forth, and he said, give me a call. He is going to take all of our box alarms and digitize those for us, no additional cost. They will come up on our map that we use. So if we have a structure fire at a particular location, a particular address, we will be able to click on that within seconds. We will have, whether it's a structure fire or grass fire, whatever that may be, and we will be able to click the link to that box alarm. And I can't tell you it will save us minutes.
Yeah.
You know, when we're busy grabbing a book, finding the correct one, it slows us down. You know, I mean, we're already dispatching the initial, but for those additional box alarms, like this will take us to seconds. And again, like I cannot say enough about Crossroads, and, you know, our contract with them has been ideal. So very excited about that. So I've reached out to the fire chiefs because some of their box alarms are a little outdated. So I'm waiting on some of those to get back with me so I can get those sent to Crossroads and get those put in.
Okay, great.
Yeah, excited about that.
Yeah.
It's a
I don't
nice
have anything
upgrade.
else.
Do you have umbrellas?
Yeah. So, all right.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks.
Thank you.
Morning, Dee.
Good morning. I just wanted to share with you a few of the awesome things we have happening at the Extension office in the next month or two. Our A&R educator, Amy, is going to be helping host a virtual PARP class March the 6th at 6 p.m. It'll happen at our Extension office. It'll be virtual, so we'll be a satellite location. You can call or email to register for that. Karen, our HHS educator, is working on Surf Safe. There'll be 2 February dates for that, for a class and for the test. She's also doing Be Heart Smart, which is a heart health program. Matter of Balance, which works on fall prevention for folks over 60. And then Hannah with 4-H just asked me to remind you that 4-H enrollment continues. We're still looking for our minis and our regular youth. And they had an all-county meeting that had 124 members plus their families on Sunday, so that's exciting. She's got a rookie parent meeting coming up in March, and then she is also continuing with the Juntos program here in Clinton County, which is for Latino youth in grades 8 through 12. So just wanted to give you some updates. I've got a copy of a flyer for each of those events that I'll share with you in case that way you can look over it, but we appreciate all that you do for us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Tim?
It's time to renew our antivirus for the county, and just wanted to get you guys approval. This year it came in at $4,331, which I think is about $150 more than what we paid last year.
Motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0.
Thanks.
You're good.
You're good. Thanks, Tim.
Any others? All right, move on. Commissioner reports. Commissioner Weaver. you
I have none.
None.
I'm in good shape.
Commissioner
I
Myers? No.
really have none.
Okay, I have two quick ones. We received our insurance renewal, that, if you remember last year, we went up to the deadline. It starts on February 1st. It was up 13% overall. We had budgeted 15, based on numbers. Now, I will say it'll change a little bit because we'll add the annex. We have new equipment and vehicles that get added, so it's kind of a number that ebbs and flows more than is set in stone. But I do just want to highlight, just for awareness, so there was kind of two big drivers in the increase. One, the number one driver was our auto. It was basically up 52% from the previous year. And some of that just had to do, we had a high number of claims, like I believe it was 175%
Yeah.
due to hail. So that was a big driver that we had. And just for reference, they already warned me, put it out there. They're probably going to take hail and that coverage, and it's going to have to start being its own separate coverage. So this is going to change. Not this year, but probably next year. And then the second one, higher driver, was our property, which was up 25%. So again, some of that's due with increased value of the property, but also sometimes we want to look at everything in a microcosm of our own area, but you got to remember from an insurance perspective, like with all the events that have happened around the country, it affects everybody in terms of property damage. So that was why we were told that some of that was driven up. But overall, not a bad renewal. And going back to the auto, so I think one thing that can help us, and we've talked about this, we have 139 vehicles on our policy. If we can drive that down a little bit, it'll obviously decrease, won't make up 52%, but it will make it more efficient. So we had that. Then the second one update I wanted to provide was related to the fuel stations. I think I got a few calls from some department heads and explained how things will work going forward, but I'll just do it here so anyone can reference it and go back to it. In the past, when we worked with Keystone, you went to their pumps and you filled up your fuel on demand, right? And so then every department got their bill as they filled up. And so you paid on a monthly balance based on how many gallons you used. Well, now that we are basically being we're the holder of the fuel, we have to purchase it up front. So easy example is we purchased 4,500 gallons to fill our tanks up. We only used 1,000. Your department maybe only used 100, but your bill's higher than that because Heritage, our current supplier, once paid for the full 4,500, right? So we have to find a way to allocate it. So what we did is we took, every department has gallons that were allocated based on our total contracted amount, and we just took a percentage of it. So your usage over the total, and you'll get charged a percentage every month of the bill. So it won't be your actual usage. There's just no way to make that work because we're not going to drain the tanks every month and have them refill them back up. We're going to keep them full so that the fuel's available when we need it. So in the end, it should work out where your total budgeted, what you had in your budget, should be really close to what we used because ideally we'll not have to go over how many we contracted for the year. So any follow-up questions, get with me after. I can kind of run you through it, but that's a quick explanation of how it'll work. And so again, they filled them up this first time, and they won't be filling them up full every time, right? Because we're not going to take it all the way down to 0 in there. So they were put 4,500 in there. I know the last couple, they've only put like 400 gallons here and there. So the first bill is going to be the highest. I would expect them to be less, and then there may be a bigger fill up once summer hits too. That will change that. So just, again, any questions, get with me. We can go through it. That is the last update I had. So we'll move on to our board business. First item is our claims. We have claims from January 24th, $21,016.45. A claim from January 31st in the amount of $22,054.66. Biweekly from February 4th in the amount of $810,139.62. And a court claim from February 4th in the amount of $21,600.40. Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve claims.
Second.
Motion carries 3-0 on claims. Next, we have payroll from January 10th in the amount of $586,349.63.
Move to approve payroll.
And second.
Motion carries 3-0. Lastly, we have minutes from our January 21st meeting.
Move to approve the minutes.
And second again.
Okay, motion carries 3-0 on that. Our next meeting will be February 18th. Is there any other business to come before us this morning? Okay, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second. All right, thanks.